The following critique is intended to provide members of the St. Catharines Camera Club with information to help improve their photography skills. The critiques were done by several members of our club. A good image. The bird is well lit, in sharp focus. The eye shows a hint of a catch light. The curved branch enhances the images as well. The background is suitably out of focus and does not detract from the image. There is a lot of negative space in this image. The images might be improved somewhat by slight cropping of the bottom and the left to reduce the negative space. You might want to even consider taking a small bit off the top as well. With some changes, the image would be competition ready. Image is well exposed and sharpened focus. Nice use of thirds with the bird's eyes being in one of the intersecting points. Zooming in will make this image a lot stronger. In both nature and open categories, the perch is too heavy and distracting. The center of interest must attract your attention, and the rest of the image should strengthen or complement the center of interest. Good color in sky, trees, and vines. Image is well exposed. Good use of leading lines. The subject, the barn, is somewhat small, but the leading lines are effective. Image is competition worthy. Nice depth to this image with foreground, middle ground, and background. Nice cloud representation. This image does lack a center of interest, and the foreground is quite bland. This image is not competition worthy. Very nice image with the adult surrounding, encircling the siblings. Good use of depth of field. Subject is sharp. This image is competition worthy. A strong center of interest. Subject is nice and sharp. Cropping on the left side would put subject in a little stronger position in frame. A catch light from a flash reflector would make image a little stronger. This image is competition worthy. Very good idea. Elephants are too small to be the center of interest, and the sky is too bland. The horizontal or the horizon is sloping. If elephants are actually going downhill, a landmark that has strong vertical lines would help. If clouds are enhanced and darks are made darker and somewhat of a zoom, the image would be a lot stronger. As is, image is not competition worthy. Nice center of interest that attracts your attention immediately. Well exposed and focused. Slight cropping on bottom would be helpful. Flipping the image horizontally will help keep your attention inside the frame. As is, subject will take you out of the frame. If the eye of the bird is on the left side, the body of the bird that is of less interest than the eye will help stop you from going out of the frame. Subject is competition worthy, but will score better with some adjustments. A strong subject, the center of interest, has good focus, good exposure. Background is nice in that it looks natural and yet soft enough not to distract from the center of interest. Good placement of subject in frame. The foreground that is out of focus could easily be cropped to eliminate it, as it is somewhat distracting. A solid base for a subject is good. Nice monochrome image with good range of tones, very sharp. Nice lines, but they lead you out of the image. The ornament is a little too close to the edge of the frame. This image is not competition worthy. Bird has nice focus and color. Beak open adds extra interest. Crop, zoom in closer, and rotate image to eliminate the background that makes the picture look like it is tipped. Subject is well placed. The purple flowers in background do not add it to the image. The color is too strong and bright. As is, image is not competition worthy. Very nice image. The heron has nice detail and exposure. Try toning down the brightness along the waterline and blurring out the plants in the lower left corner to avoid distracting the eye away from the heron. Competition worthy image. Good detail on central leaf with nice color and exposure. Consider cropping tighter around the main leaf to focus on the pattern of the plant, eliminating the background and top leaves. Competition worthy with some adjustments. Interesting subject that has good positioning in the image as the eyes sit on an intersection point when using the rule of thirds. The face of the animal is soft and subject has flat lighting, so it blends too much with the background. Not competition worthy due to the softness. Interesting picture, good pose on the giraffes. If this image is entered in nature, the maker is limited to what can be done to improve the photograph. If entered in pictorial, then it is possible to improve the image. First, while the bodies are well exposed, the faces appear somewhat underexposed. The maker might want to lighten them a bit. The sky in the middle of the image is somewhat bland. This could be improved, as could be the horizon in the background. Without some additional work, this image is not competition ready. An interesting attempt. Nice curve in the image. Exposure on road is well done, and no headlight streaks from the vehicles on the highway. A large portion of the sky is not particularly interesting, and it is not the center of interest here. The image would benefit from cropping off about 25% of the upper portion of the sky. The center of interest is probably the service road to some extent. The highway distracts from the image. It would have been interesting if the maker could have slightly changed the point of view and had a single vehicle on the service road. Cropping the sky would improve the image. However, it is not likely to score highly in competition. A good attempt at hummingbird photography. Hummingbird photography is difficult due to the speed at which the wings move. In fact, most judges are used to seeing a slight blur in the wings. The bird is sharp, well exposed, a hint of a catch light in the eyes, and there is adequate space around the bird. The bird does not crowd the image boundaries. The background is well controlled and does not detract from this image. The image might benefit from some very slight reframing, otherwise the image is competition ready. This image has a lot going for it. Ideal subject for black and white, pleasing curve of the bridge, and the fact that it was just finished raining adds to the mood of the image. It is very similar to some of the fine art photographs of European cities produced in the 1930s. There are a couple of items that maybe should be considered. The stairwell to the lower levels at the right of the image somewhat distracting. The eye tends to enter the photograph from the left, follow along the curve of the road, then down the stairs, and repeat the cycle again. Possible cropping the bottom at the lower left fence might improve the image. While this image is competition ready, depending on the judges, it may score well. It might be better to make this image into a fine art print and enter it in the print competition.